Well, what is it? First of all, think about Harvard Business School as having several pieces, just as a big company does. And the first piece we have is the admissions office. And what do we have? We have something like 10,000 people from all over the world who are bright and ambitious, and they are applying for 1,000 places. So to begin with, the natural talent is self-selecting and coming to our doorstep. So a lot of our people, and I'm really impressed by it, are very thoughtful about their need to develop skill. That's what they write about in the application. They write about what it is they've accomplished, but what it is they think they can benefit from. So they come to Harvard Business School, and to begin with, they get a lot of analytic skills. Second, through the discussion method, they actually learn a lot about listening and communicating and working with a group, a lot of team activity. Last, there's a lot of networking going on, which is very valuable. You asked, where do you find people? Well, you've gone to school with 1,000 pretty good ones. And presumably you've been thinking about their skills. I mean, I always tell people that in class they should be thinking about who they'd pick to run a company. Because you get to, if nothing else, you're thinking about how you evaluate skills. What is it we can't teach? It's very hard to teach intellectual courage. In the old days, it was easier because faculty could be very harsh in the classroom, and you got really pushed hard. That's hard. It's not. Some faculty can do it today, but it's generally politically incorrect. But what else? I mean, it's a very supportive environment, so you aren't quite tested in the ways you are when you're out leading your own organization. Students want a lot of feedback. Particularly positive feedback. I mean, the kind of people we have, they want feedback when they get an A. I mean, they want to be told just how good they really are. The world doesn't do that. When you're trying to accomplish something hard, like build a company, you get a lot of negative feedback, actually. So you have to, those things I don't think we can teach. That courage, that stamina, that you have to have developed over your childhood. Well, I think the first thing, the most important thing, is that leadership is actually a service activity. It's not, a lot of the time, leadership involves giving to others because you're helping them to succeed at their work. That you are, I mean, it can be very, very hard. In difficult times, you're there helping them feel good about what they're doing and committed to success. And at times, nobody's doing that for you. So you are really serving the organization. So much of what we do in the media is celebrate leaders and talk about it as if it's this grand thing with amazing rewards, and some of it's very hard work. So I guess that's the first thing. The second, I already said, it's all about other people. leadership doesn't really work if there aren't followers. And in today's world, they're going to be very, very good people. I mean, you can see this in a faculty all the time, that the deans always talk about herding cats. But the truth is, really great deans are able to lead. They change the direction of an organization, of a school, in important ways. They can raise the standards. They can change the values. It's very hard work. I guess I just mentioned the third thing. Today, in today's world, I think values are absolutely critical. We tend to talk about economic importance, we tend to talk about economic performance, and that's obviously critical. But a lot of the people involved in organizations today, in the leadership, in the upper levels of management, aren't there just for the money. I mean, they're there because it's exciting and rewarding, and if you can, and that has to do with the values of the organization. Well, globalization has done two or three things. First, it's vastly increased the complexity of the work, the range of activities. So a good leader now really needs a fair amount of broadband. You need a lot of bandwidth to manage, because you're being exposed to all kinds of markets and cultures. I think it's made it difficult because the people are so different in different places, different habits and so on, so that we find big companies managing businesses in countries that could be at war. And they're at war, you know, we know what a silly thing war is, but it has to do with different interests and so on. Well, big companies are managing across those interests, those lines of culture, of interests, and somehow or other making it work. You have Hindus and Muslims in the same company. You have Shia and Sunni in the same company, and they're working together. It's remarkable. So making all that's now part of the job. Because just the geographic distances mean that the physical demands of the job have gone way up, because you're on an airplane a lot and you're traveling tens of thousands of miles. So in many ways, just those very basic things have made the job harder.